In various literary works, the authors used symbols to underscore the central theme of hope. Hope is the feeling of expectation and a strong desire for a certain thing to happen. It's a belief that a positive thing will happen out of the harsh circumstances and situation in someone's life, and I found that this theme matches three novels very well. These novels are A Long Way Gone by Ismail Bir, A Lesson Before Dying by Ernest Gaines, and The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. In the book A Long Way Gone, there are symbols such as the Rabka seed, his shoes, and the moon. The first symbol is the Rabka seed, and it plays a huge role in this book. For Ismail, the kassid is one of the hopes to survive. This kassid is a part of Ismail which he carries with him through his journey. He struggles to stay alive, but because of the kassid it becomes easier, because when Ismail and his friends come to villages, people think that they are rebels. But when they find the kassid, listen to it and ask Ismail to dance, then people understand that these boys are innocent and let them go. The second symbol is the moon. It's another hope for Ismail because sometimes him and his friends were walking at night, and without the moon it would be harder to walk or even impossible. So Ismail had his hope in the moon which would shine for their journey at night. If the moon would not shine, then the boys would have to stay where they are and waste time on waiting for sunrise, but because of the moon their journey was moving faster. The third symbol is his shoes. They were one of the hopes for Ismail because with them it was easier to escape, but since they had been taken away, it was like part of his home and his family taken away. It played very hard on him because he really valued them. He had to walk barefoot on the hot sand, which was so painful, and he could feel the pain for a few days. In Lesson Before Dying by Ernest Gaines, the symbols that symbolize hope are the church, the notebook, and the radio. The church symbolizes the hope that society will change. Miss Emma, Tante Lou, and Reverend Ambrose have a belief that God will help them, and they use this hope in the face of prejudice and injustice. Reverend thinks that since Grant unconditionally rejects God and church, he moves away from the chance to improve the society. When Grant recognizes that engaging in this activity will help the society improve, he starts moving closer to God and the church. Ambrose convinced Grant that hope brings peace and strength. The notebook symbolizes hope for Grant that Jefferson will write something in that notebook and will think less about negative things. Also, it symbolizes hope for future collaboration between blacks and white. For example, Paul, the white deputy, gives the book to Grant and asks him to shake his hand. The notebook represents a hope for a brighter future and a stronger black community. Their conversation gives hope for greater collaboration between black and white in the future. The radio symbolizes hope in a way that Jefferson will reconnect with the outside world. The radio for Jefferson became the only form of communication with the rest of society for a brief period of time. Before Jefferson got the radio, he was filled with bitterness and hate, but after he received the radio, his bitterness began to fade, and it was easier to communicate with him. Also because of the radio, Jefferson's self-imposed isolation started to break. Everyone hoped that Jefferson will be back with communicating normally, and with the radio's help, it happened. In The Merchant of Venice, there are three symbols which are the caskets, the ducats, and the rings. The caskets give hope to men who come to Portia hoping to choose the right casket and to take Portia as their wife. The ducats give hope to Bassanio, and because of them he will pay for his trip to Portia and she might become his wife. Also, the ducats give hope to Antonio, Bassanio's best friend. Antonio hopes that Bassanio will find his true love and will be happy. The ring that Portia gave to Bassanio make her hope that he will not give it away in any circumstances, because he gave her his promise. All these symbols played a huge role in every situation and made the characters hope for the best. I found a little bit challenging to find symbols which would match the theme. To choose my photos, I had to go through a process which included thinking what kind of photos do I need, and then after searching them I had to choose the most suitable ones. I chose the sun because I found it really calm and warm as hope. There is something that made me feel like the sun gives hope. The sun reduces stress and negative thoughts, same as my theme hope does. I made sure that my writing component was ready to read out loud. After I checked the grammar, spelling, after practicing reading it a few times before recording it, and after going through the checklist and making sure that I did not forget anything. I found that one of my strengths as a writer is on finding evidence from text. I think I did a pretty good job, but I think I need to improve in areas such as choosing right words, grammar, and also do not be repetitive with words. Next time I will try to make my pronunciation more clearly, increase my voice, and add more pictures.